Today on TSP Moments, we're taking a look back and a deeper dive into episode 1 of the Thoughtful Software podcast, examining what thoughtful software is and why it could be crucial to your business. I'm Jason Hoflick, and this is TSP Moments from the Thoughtful Software podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Bloomfilter. Bloomfilter is a new app that brings unprecedented amounts of data about every one of your projects straight to your fingertips, giving you insights never before seen in any one single app. Bloomfilter's revolutionary new project platform dramatically improves communication, predictability, and efficiency across the software development lifecycle. Bloomfilter provides software teams complete visibility into their projects, keeping them on track and in budget to drive consistent, valuable outcomes. Why not give yourself a present this holiday season and head on over to bloomfilter.co, that's BLOOMFILTER.co, to sign up and start changing the way you work today. Okay, so what is thoughtful software, and why is it important? Or maybe a better question is, why do you need it? Well, thoughtful software is more than just a gimmick or a slogan. It's a mindset. It's a system of ethical, customer-centric values to help drive innovation and solve real-world problems. In fact, thoughtful software isn't even just good software, although it certainly does fall under that umbrella. In fact, there's a great piece by John Young over at Get Connected that highlights the key features of good software, such as correctness, usability, efficiency, reliability, integrity, adaptability, accuracy, robustness, maintainability, portability, reusability, readability, testability, and understandability. Certainly for software to be thoughtful, it has to be good software, and thoughtful software is going to share many of those attributes listed in that article. However, it's entirely possible to have good software, or even great software, in fact, that's not thoughtful. And for software to be thoughtful, it has to be the right product to solve the pain points that are hindering you, not what a developer thinks is the right product. In a nutshell, thoughtful software is simple over complex. It's teams over the individual. It's effective change over status quo, and it's relationships over money. And it's designed around the right questions, not a dollar amount. And no company should ever base designing software around how much money they can get out of you. Thoughtful software is based around the questions of, why are we building something? What is the problem that we're trying to solve? Who is the intended user? What is the time frame for completing the project? What are the goals for you and your team? Is this even feasible for us to design? Once you can answer those questions as a customer, you know that you're going to be getting something consistent. In fact, the easier that your software is to understand, the easier it is to use. And it gives you a peace of mind in knowing that simplicity will not only mean fewer defects to contend with, but that any changes that do need to be made will be minor and occur quickly. Thoughtful software is not moving slower, it's moving well, it's moving purposeful, it's moving usefully, it's problem solving. And perhaps most importantly, thoughtful software is based upon a relationship, a partnership, in fact, between the company and the customer. And this creates an environment of open communication and trust in which the customer doesn't feel swallowed by the process, just awaiting the outcome and crossing their fingers that their money was well spent and that the software does something resembling what they hoped for. Instead, it makes them a part of the process and it grants them a window into what is being crafted. And when you look across any industry, what you find is that when companies do this, when businesses bring customers along as part of the journey, the experience, and the process, they're successful. And this is true for any industry. Take Subway, for example. Imagine walking into a restaurant and saying, "I'm hungry." And the person standing there says, okay, sure, yeah, give me $100 and I'll solve your problem. And then they bring out some food. And maybe you like it, but maybe you don't like it. Chances are that you're not going to like it because they never took into account what type of food you wanted, what you like and what you don't like, or what kind of food allergies you might even have. The product that they create could actually be detrimental to your health. And so what you end up with is food, but it might be $100 worth of food you don't like or you can't even eat. So you spend a lot of money on something that you can't even use. But with Subway, you walk in, you tell them what you want, and they craft it right in front of you. They give you an open window that makes you a part of the process to see how they're building your sandwich, what you're putting on it, how the features of that sandwich are going to be. Do you want it toasted? Do you want cheese? Do you want lettuce? They bring you along as part of this process. And while they have creative control in how they're building it, you are a part and you get to tell them what you want on it. Look at Apple, for instance. Apple knew that people wanted a more innovative laptop, they wanted a smartwatch. People were given products that they didn't just use and consume, but changed their lives in a positive way. People got up, they moved, they exercised, they integrated, they interacted with one another. And that's what thoughtful software aims to do. It's not just saying, okay, you have a problem, give us some money and we'll solve the problem. It's bringing you along as part of the journey. It's taking into consideration your wants and needs. It's building a relationship. And ultimately, it's creating a product that is innovative and driven by the customer's needs of solving a real world problem. And this is where our conversation with Andrew and Fahad picks up as they discuss thoughtful software and its process.
So I started Skip List on a very simple principle that we were going to get the best minds in the world, and we were going to get them in a network. And we are going to take that network and help build amazing software for people. And that may manifest itself as, our company, which is helping people build the software and understand their complex problems and making them simple, all the way to just making introductions for people to people that are experts and could help them in other ways. And really, when we look at Skip List, it's an answer to that problem of there are only so many talented people in the world that can really do this level of complexity and manage it and help you out. And we want to make sure that we're the company that can make sure you get the people you need to get the job done. That's why Skiplets exists. That's how we're going to be thoughtful about it. We're going to be, we basically, I saw in the market a lack of empathy, as I mentioned earlier, a lack of caring about the work you do, a lack of transparency, and to be really frank, just a complete amount of bullshit, legal documents, CYA things. You have three people you get to talk to. You have account manager, you have a sales rep, you have a senior territory manager for some reason, and it all prevents you from getting the one thing you want, which is simple working software that your customers love.
So let's say you're a CIO or a CTO listening to this and you go, okay, I do want to build more thoughtful software, but I have all these crazy aggressive schedules. And does it mean that, building thoughtful software is going to delay everything now?
Being thoughtful isn't necessarily being slower. It can be. Sometimes we jump into a project that isn't fully understood, and we understand that. So we take a step back and help you do that too. But sometimes it's also understanding that to move fast, you have to move well. And so, yeah, it's a bit more methodical, it's a bit more in depth, but that's not necessarily slower. As we begin to understand the problem more, we start accelerating our own development. And because we're moving well as we do it, we're building the software the right way. Yeah, maybe the first couple of weeks, I didn't ship a microservice, but by the end of the project, we shipped just as much. But now it's something you can use and it actually solved your problem and you actually get value out of it versus the other approach, which is come in day one, guns blazing, kick down the door and ship something, but maybe you don't use it. I see so many consultant companies do that. They build an MVP or a POC, and they're super lean or whatever, and then they throw the POC away, and you spent 4 weeks, building something that was just throwaway. And we say, well, why not take 2 of those 4 weeks you're going to throw away anyways and actually learn about the problem? At the end of the second 2 weeks, yeah, we built a smaller POC, but it's one we can keep and continue building on. And so we've accelerated the project well beyond where it would have been in the typical consulting world of just build the POC and who cares if we throw it away. We need to show progress, 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 progress. Progress can be shown in multiple ways. Sometimes it's just understanding the problem, and that's key. That's key to understand that there's more than one way to solve a problem. Software isn't always the right way to solve a problem.
Have you found it challenging when you talk to clients and customers about building thoughtful software and maybe like an education lesson, or how do people resonate with this idea?
Everyone resonates. Most of the people I talk to, the CIOs, the CTOs, the VP of engineering in the world, they have felt this pain. They felt this pain their entire career of people just coming in and trying to go through the motions. And so
There's
when I
so
tell
many
them, like,
bunch of stuff.
yeah, they're like I said, the word bullshit comes up frequently at Skip List because that's what it is. It's just it's like a light show, and sure, it's great, but there's nothing there afterwards, right? And we don't want to just put on a show. We don't want to entertain you. We want to get the job done and get it done in the right way. And when people know that, when they understand that, and because you understand their pain and empathy, you build a lot of trust and they trust you to take care of them. And that trust needs to be nurtured, one, and two, should never be taken lightly. Right. And so we really try to build that trust, that ability to be partners with our clients, and they understand that. And so when I'm telling them about thoughtful software, it just resonates with them as a new way of thinking about it. It doesn't have to be the old way, and that we can get just as much work done or more. But let's not do it in a hasty manner. Let's be, like you said, methodical, data driven, right? Let's not just do things because we feel like it's the right choice. Let's make sure it's the right choice.
Thank you for listening. We'd love to get your thoughts about this episode. Leave us a comment and give us a review wherever you get your podcasts. Connect with us at skipless.com for more content like this.